Since the release of Legions Imperialis, it has been widely recognized that the Alpha Legion special rule called Mutable Tactics is far and away the best and most powerful, to the point of being blatantly imbalanced. Today, in this video, I'm going to talk briefly about how my local group has addressed the rule and modified it to make it a little less powerful. The biggest problem with Mutable Tactics is that it allows the controlling player to abuse Infiltrate, one of the most powerful rules in the game. As it is normally interpreted, the rule allows infiltration of any detachment type, which makes it vastly superior in every way to any other Legion rule. Now, this wouldn't be so bad if the other Legion special rules were as powerful in different ways to the Alpha Legion, but they're not even close. But why is it so egregious? One reason is that it allows turn 1 occupation of objectives, which means that the Alpha Legion begins the game in control of as many objectives as they can infiltrate onto. Now, it's true that there are other ways to get access to the Infiltrate special rule for other armies, which do allow them to contest this infiltration game, but this is almost always restricted to infantry. The Alpha Legion can infiltrate any type of detachment that they want to, including powerful walkers and vehicles, which bring firepower that other infiltrating forces simply can't match. It also allows the Alpha Legion to place their units more or less anywhere they wish on the table, circumventing the restrictions of normal deployment, and additionally giving them the ability to put these units down after their opponent has completed their entire deployment, giving them the ability to perfectly counter anything the enemy does. Now, it is true that the Alpha Legion can only infiltrate 3 detachments per formation. This isn't really a restriction, though, as the Alpha Legion player can simply take many smaller formations to maximize the number of infiltrating detachments. While this does make them more vulnerable to broken formations, most people, or at least many people, either ignore or simply forget about this cumbersome rule, and so it really isn't much of a drawback. I've seen several solutions proposed to deal with this problem, and the first is simply to curtail the Infiltrate special rule, just cut out the root of the problem. But from my point of view, this is too drastic a change for a house rule, as it fundamentally alters for everyone a core game element. It has also been suggested that turn 1 scoring be eliminated, which I also think is simply too drastic a change, but it also fails to address the ability of the Alpha Legion to infiltrate these powerful detachments into positions of great advantage from turn 1, and to account for and counter the enemy's deployment using their infiltrate ability. Most dramatically, I have seen suggestions that progressive scoring be removed entirely from the game. And once again, I would say this is much too drastic a change, and in my opinion, it essentially eliminates the need for objectives at all, keeping the game just strictly about killing the other army first. And it still does nothing to deal with the infiltration problem. The solution that we've come to, at least here in my local group, is to suggest an alternate reading of the Alpha Legion special rule, which strictly limits the special rule that can be given to certain detachment types. And that is to say that infantry can be given infiltrate, cavalry can be given outflank, and walkers and vehicles can be given forward deployment, and that's it. This brings the Alpha Legion more in line with other forces, does not make drastic changes to core rules, and prevents them, most importantly, from infiltrating powerful units into positions of advantage before the game even starts. This is my justification for reading the rule Mutable Tactics as I am suggesting. Because there are 3 categories of detachment types, infantry, cavalry, and walkers or vehicles, and 3 special rules, infiltrate, outflank, and forward deployment, I believe that the intention of the rule is that the specific detachment type indicates which specific special rule it can receive, even though the wording is a little unclear, which has led to this interpretation that is common to, I think, most games of Legions Imperialis that are being played around the world up to now. Now, obviously, I can't speak for GW. I don't know what the original rules' intentions are, but I do believe that by making this change, the Alpha Legion is allowed to retain their Mutable Tactics special rule, but we are limiting it to reduce the more egregious abuses of Mutable Tactics. The Alpha Legion still have the ability to infiltrate with their infantry just like other armies, but have now a much more meaningful choice between outflanking their cavalry and forward deploying their walkers and vehicles. We're preventing powerful units from infiltrating into the enemy's front like Kratos or Leviathan Dreadnoughts, while also preserving the core game rules intact. This isn't a perfect solution, and I know there are some people out there who are going to say that it's not strong enough. But I do believe that it brings the Alpha Legion back from being blatantly overpowered. This is something that we have playtested. And it keeps them from being frankly unfun to play against. It allows them to still be powerful, but it reduces the really egregious abuses of infiltrate. And of course the other two rules that they have access to, but which simply are not as good as infiltrate, and there's really very few reasons why you would choose outflank or forward deployment over an infiltrating unit. Let me know what you think of this change in the comments. If you have a chance to play test it yourself, make sure to tell us how it went, and I'll really look forward to hearing from you and hearing your thoughts. I think that's about it for this video, and I'll see you in the next one.